Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And everybody always says, am I too late to XRP? You know, everybody wishes they could have bought XRP when it was well below a penny. But you know, you're not too late. It's very undervalued. It's going to skyrocket in this next run up. A lot of people are going to make a lot of money. When you're going to be too late is when they're talking about Ripple and XRP on the mainstream media news the way they used to back in 2018. I'm going to play this clip. I tried to adjust the sound. It's kind of low. But this gives you an idea on the way we looked at XRP back in 2018. Take a listen. And this is when XRP is going to take over the SWIFT's payment system. They knew back then that the road that Ripple was already on. But then 2020 came and they had to slow Ripple down. The banks didn't like the idea of Ripple gaining that much momentum that quick. But that's why XRP was skyrocketing back then as well. We're going to see the same thing happen in this next run-up. XRP is going to achieve a new all-time high and beyond. But the day that you start seeing Ripple and XRP on the mainstream media news this way, once again, you are too late. You have been left behind. Now, in yesterday's video, I talked a little bit about opening a business once you cash out of crypto. But imagine the people outside of crypto. Whenever I read this, it puts it into perspective. Imagine playing Monopoly and never buying any assets or investments that generate income. Imagine you just went around collecting $200, giving your money to the rich, and trying to stay out of jail. That is how most people live their life. And it's true. And that puts it into perspective. Because I know so many people that don't invest into anything. And they're always complaining about inflation. They're complaining about all their bills. But they're going to be in that cycle forever. And even when you cash out of crypto, you have to have a game plan. You don't just cash out and go on a spending spree. You want to cash out and retire once and for all. You don't want to be back here chasing the next big thing. Now, because we're invested into ISO cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrencies that have utility and use case, I think we're going to be able to get passive income directly from our crypto. So maybe you don't have to open a business. Maybe you could just full on retire and go do all the things you ever wanted to do. But it's going to take time until we get there as well. That's why I'm always paying attention to the projects that are building on the XRP ledger, especially if they're centered around passive income, borrowing and lending. Now, I also talked about UBI in a few videos, and people kept saying, that's unconstitutional. They're never going to do that. Look at what they're saying about the Constitution. Is the Constitution obstructing American democracy? Let's give up on the Constitution. MAGA turns against the Constitution. Why are they so anti-Constitution? Because they want to create their own laws. They want to impose laws that will put you into the slavery system. They want to take your guns. They don't want you speaking out. They want you to do whatever the government tells you to do. And even Elon pointed it out. They want to overthrow the Constitution. The Constitution is sacred. Is it also dangerous? They're trying to make you believe we don't need the Constitution going forward. But that's what protects Americans' rights. We have the right to free speech. You have the right to arm yourself, and so on. But they're going to push CBDC and universal basic income because the rest of the world is already going in that direction. If anything, we need a digital bill of rights ahead of that. That's all I was saying in previous videos. Breaking, X app for TV is now live. The X app has launched on TV, allowing users to access the platform directly from their television screens. And I said X is slowly going to replace YouTube. I doubt that will ever happen, but I wanted to let you know that this is now out there. This is a disturbing deja vu of 2007 to 2008 on steroids. Higher unrealized losses on residential mortgage-backed securities drove the increase. This is '08 right here. Remember all the hype all over the mainstream media news? Remember, no matter what channel you turned on, that was it. It was over. We were going to have the next depression, and that was the end of it. Well, look at this right here. This is now. And this is why I'm telling you, this system is going to come crashing down. They are letting you know ahead of time that it is coming. We are headed into a liquidity crisis. What fixes a liquidity crisis? XRP and that on-demand liquidity. This comes from Mr. Mann. Liquidity will dry up fast because central banks will need to allocate a larger amount of funds to pre-position their CBDCs, as stated by the International Security Service Association. When the liquidity crunch is bad, the CBDC will show up on time. They're pushing us towards the digital system and a CBDC. The liquidity crisis is going to happen first. Same thing with the housing market. That bubble's going to pop. We need a revaluation of everything. Rent is out of control. Mortgages are out of control. House prices are astronomical. Everything needs to break before we get a level playing field. And I think that will come with the new financial system. We don't even need a CBDC. XRP can fix the current financial system. IRS lagging and complying with order not to raise audit rates for under $400,000 a year earners. So it looks like the IRS doesn't care that they're going after people that earn less than $400,000 a year. You know, they didn't hire all of those IRS agents for no reason. They're going to continue to audit people that make less than that. We all know it. Wait until they start auditing crypto. That's the next thing. It's the same reason that you have Uphold and Coinbase doing KYC and AML checks, anti-money laundering, know your customer. Even if you don't report it, they will report it for you. Same thing is going to happen at other exchanges. And exchanges that can't comply will be gone. And I don't know why I keep getting these shoe ads whenever I go to talk about something. So there's this also coming from Charles Hoskinson. And I agree with him here. I don't see how Bitcoin survives. It's a religion, not an ecosystem. Hash rate will fall and it will die a slow heat death. Take a listen.
Bitcoin needs the industry to survive. It sure as hell needs the exchanges and all the other infrastructure because it's not self-sufficient in that dimension. But the industry doesn't need Bitcoin anymore to survive. It's nice to have a digital asset like Bitcoin that has that reputation and it's digital gold, but remember at the end of the day, it's a token with a deflationary monetary policy. And so at any given moment, another digital gold can form, and if it has good science behind it, it'll be just as secure, if not more so. You know, that's why we spent, in a science-based approach with Cardano, 7 years designing a proof-of-stake protocol. You know, from the GKL model to Ouroboros Classic, to Praus, to Genesis, and everything that came afterwards, is that we thought a lot as an ecosystem about how do you build a secure consensus protocol that's energy efficient, but also has all the properties that Bitcoin has. And we were very rigorous with this. And the response to the Bitcoin ecosystem was, oh, it's a scam, it doesn't exist, that technology can't exist, and it's perpetual motion, and proof of stake is wrong. Okay, I just don't see how that survives. It's a religion, it's not an ecosystem. So no, we don't necessarily need Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going to have to grow and adapt and change if it wants to survive long term, you know. And
Interesting.
plenty of people with first mover advantage thought they were invincible. Microsoft did with Windows. And what happened is they never lost Windows, but then we changed the paradigm. People stopped caring about the desktop, and now we all have cell phones and tablets, and look at Android and iOS versus Windows, the adoption rates. And in a lot of app developers, Windows last. It used to be that if you weren't on Windows, your business would die. Now no one cares about it anymore. So that's the danger there, is that they don't lose the wallet share and the amount of people that hold it, but they lose the attention, they lose the innovation, and over time the industry grows in a different direction, and then you wake up and 98% of the stuff you do is outside of Bitcoin. And you start asking yourself, why do I really care about that? And it just becomes another asset, and then the hash rate falls, and it kind of dies a slow heat death.
He's not wrong, and I've been pointing this out for a while. What's going on is technology continues to advance, and it's putting a bigger and bigger gap between these ISO cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. And it doesn't even need to be ISO cryptocurrencies. There's cryptocurrencies out there that are better than Bitcoin. And Bitcoin maxis, they don't want to believe it, but yet it is coming. And at the same time, you have governments also pointing at Bitcoin, saying it's only used for illicit activity. Now, I don't believe that, but I do believe technology will end Bitcoin, the advancement of technology, and eventually XRP will be the #1 cryptocurrency. ADA is going to be with us in the future. It's going to be part of the new financial system. When it comes to scalability, proof of work, Bitcoin does not offer what the financial industry is looking for. Ripple, Stellar, and Hedera offer what the industry is wanting to scale their business. Look at the growth around Hedera, Stellar, Ripple over the past 2 years alone. Non-stop growth. And it's growing in directions we never even knew existed. You know, we seen them pushing towards carbon credits. Then we started looking at DREC, where people can recover their keys and not lose their crypto, opening up use case after use case after use case, while Bitcoin still has no real use case. That's why I'm telling you, going forward, eventually it will become irrelevant. This comes from Smoke, and it's also going to start with this. European Central Bank, Tether, is a financial stability risk for the entire crypto ecosystem. The ECB highlighted the risk that unbacked crypto assets, such as Tether, pose to financial stability, emphasizing the potential dangers if current trends continue. The ECB knows, and Mika pretty much ended Tether in the EU. So going forward, when every other country is getting crypto regulations, we're going to eventually watch Tether lose its peg. But when that happens, it's going to take down the entire crypto space. Every single cryptocurrency is going to fall in value. But then once the dust settles, all of a sudden you're going to start seeing cryptocurrencies like XRP, ADA, XLM, XDC, HBAR. They're going to start to rise up from that because the smart money is already going to be out of Bitcoin. And they're never going to look back at Bitcoin ever again because they're going to realize that it was in a bubble all along. All the hype will be gone, all the belief in it will be gone, and we will push into a total different direction. But then Smoke goes on to talk about Tether's connections to China. Despite their claims of not holding any Chinese commercial paper, documents released by the New York Attorney General reveal that Tether in fact held billions of dollars in short-term loans to Chinese companies. What will happen when Donald Trump becomes president again? He's always America first and China last. Anything tied to China most likely will not be around during a Trump presidency. And by then, we will have stablecoin regulations in the United States. That will also end Tether in the US. Then before you know it, it will happen in other countries. We are watching the slow demise of Bitcoin. That's what's really going on. A mobile shop owner has become the first person in the UK charged with illegally operating a crypto ATM. Rahman allegedly laundered 300,000 pounds of criminal cash by converting it into cryptocurrency. Like I said, the headlines after headlines are pointing it out. Bitcoin does not have a future because even Bitcoin mining is not going to be around once carbon credits show up. Once you have to buy carbon credits and carbon offsets just to mine Bitcoin, nobody's going to want to mine it. And I think they create these headlines out of nowhere. It's kind of like a warning of what's to come. And even Elon says Dogecoin is better suited for transactions compared to Bitcoin. Take a listen.
Even though it was created as a silly joke, Dogecoin is better suited for transactions.
Why is that?
The total transaction flow that you can do with Dogecoin is substantially more than, like, transactions per day is much higher than, has much higher potential than Bitcoin.
And I said it before, I think Doge will be with us into the future because it's going to become an F asset thanks to Flare. And I even said I believe more in Doge than I do in Bitcoin. I hold Doge, but I don't hold Bitcoin. And I said no second best when you are the worst crypto in the space. But you know, I try to talk to these Bitcoin maxis and I try to point out the flaws with Bitcoin. But for some reason, they keep coming back with this, the universe handed us Bitcoin. Are these people that fucked up? I mean, really? The universe did not hand you Bitcoin. David Schwartz handed you Bitcoin. And if it was so great, why did the Bitcoin creators go off and create XRP? Because they knew there was problems with Bitcoin. So they created the real Bitcoin, which is XRP. And over time, like I said, we are going to see XRP as the #1 cryptocurrency. And it's going to be all over the mainstream media news. And we are going to be rich when that happens. We will be rich before that even happens. Because we're going to see run-up after run-up based on utility and use case and institutional adoption. It's going to be an exciting time going ahead. We just got to get through the worst of it. Right now, it is very frustrating, but alt season is coming. Right after alt season, we will see regulations. We will see ISO go live. And it's going to push the price of this handful of cryptocurrencies like we have never seen before. But until it happens, you gotta stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.